I'm Dan King from Insurance Data Lab, and I'm here at the BIBA conference with Sarah Chadburn from OneCall. We're going to talk about business placement.
We are
Thanks
indeed.
for joining us.
Thank you, Dan.
To kick off, what are the biggest challenges for OneCall when placing business?
Well, at the moment, the industry is in a bit of a sticky situation with inflation. Obviously, we've had some world events over the past few years, which has had a huge impact on delays, cost of living, and claims impact on insurers. So, for us and many insurers, I've heard over the past couple of days while we've been here at BIBA that it's capacity because of those drivers of inflationary impacts. We've had insurers that have pulled capacity, those that have constrained capacity, so that's quite a challenge at the moment.
Okay, and are there any business lines or industry sectors in particular that are proving kind of particularly troublesome?
Yeah, I think so. Motor in the main is our bag with an element of household. With what I've just mentioned about inflation, that is the toughest market for us at the minute. And if I can just mention about Land Rovers, and that's a particular product line that we've got and many other insurers and brokers are challenged with, or were certainly last year, with the increased thefts. People were pulling out of the market, and it was very difficult to insure those vehicles. But we are starting to see, and we did see again late last year, insurers putting new schemes back on, higher excesses, so that those product lines are becoming more available.
Yeah, right. Okay. And with Consumer Duty, that has brought in obviously some big changes.
Sure.
With requirements around customer outcomes and fair value. How has this impacted your business placement strategy?
In terms of business placement, not an awful lot. We are very much vanilla. There's nothing sort of overly complicated in there. So we've of course been working with our insurers to really, are they happy with what they're seeing? Can we collaborate on the value piece and how we support them and their consumer duty requirements? Then as us as a business, we've looked at our servicing offering, so we are a distributor, so how do we position ourselves to the consumer, what's the messaging, how easy is it for them to do things, what are the pinch points there, and how do we manage what our changes need to look like. So it has been a challenge, like as with all kind of regulation, just to understand what it means to your business, but we are a year in pretty much. We don't stand still, we just continue to move on. Yeah.
Okay. And what role does data play in this? Are there any particular metrics you look at when assessing insurer performance?
Yeah, so data is huge. We are in the world of data at the moment, and it is key, central part to all the decision making that we have to make. And the things that we look at, so when we're onboarding our insurer panel, of course we look financial diligence, reputational. So there are information that we can get that we obtain ourselves through the credit agencies, Companies House, the regulator themselves, so we'll pull data that we've got on that particular insurer. We obviously ask for things from them as well, and they'll share various bits with us, and then we've got the FOS and our own sort of insight into our partners as well.
Okay. And how has Consumer Duty affected other parts of OneCall operation?
Just rewind to my earlier answer of it has been, I'm not going to say tough, but it's been challenging that it's another hurdle that we have to go through. But actually, when you look at your business, you're there for your consumer, you're there to deliver what they want. And actually, if you're not doing that, you don't have repeat customers, you don't have new customers. So we think we've kind of been there. However, it's also been a great opportunity for you just to take a step back. We've been not forced into, but you take the opportunity to review everything. Okay, what are we seeing there? What do we need to change? How does that need to look? So we've taken it as an opportunity, and we've made lots of changes, systems, documents, how we position ourselves, what's our service like, and all of those types of things.
Okay. And on a practical level, this is the final question. The FCA are obviously becoming more and more active. How are you coping with the regulatory workload that brings?
It is tough, and again, speaking to colleagues that I've spoken to over the past couple of days, we're all finding it tough. regulation seems to have been never ending for the past few years. You know, we've had IDD, we've had general insurance policy practices, we've now got consumer duty, which hopefully is the last bit and the sort of the overarching piece. So yeah, it's been tough. I think with IDD, if I could just mention that, the regulator were a little bit slow on helping us out as distributors. It was challenging. We both had an end date to deliver, and actually as a broker, you've got to wait for everyone to get you that information, and then you've got to do it. So we found ourselves in a huge resource issue at that back end to deliver what we needed to do. You know, the regulator did come in towards the back end and gave the insurers a bit of a telling off, which was welcome. That should have been done much earlier. And in hindsight, if I can give any advice, it should have been, if we do anything like that again, you've got your distributors that, you know, your insurers that actually need to do one thing, and then your distributors can pick up on the insurer work. I think that would have worked a bit better. But then going to consumer duty and the approach from the FCA, this most recent guidance that they've given, and good and bad practices, that's fantastic. That's what we need. You know, what are we seeing that's not quite working in the industry, and what are we seeing, and we can measure ourselves against it and go, oh, okay, we're going to come away from this and go more into that camp. So I think that's a good thing that they're doing.
More of that, please, FCA.
More of that, please. That would be very helpful.
Excellent.
Yes.
Well, lovely to talk to you. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.